Portal 1 can be one of either two things for you. It can either be a lovely introduction to a really well-made, beautiful series, or a failed attempt at filling the Portal 2 shaped hole in your heart after you complete it and you're looking for more content. It's like a rebound relationship, only it sucks even more. I belong to the latter part, unfortunately, but that does not mean that I hated this game, not one bit. Portal 1 does a wonderful job at setting up this world and introducing you to it and getting you to learn about how messed up everything is in the most subtle ways possible, while the gameplay is still simple enough to be fun, but to not distract you from the dialogue and the world building that's going on around you. And that's a balance that I think the game strikes wonderfully well. That said, simplistic gameplay does not mean that the game isn't fun. It's super fun, and that simplicity encourages perfection. Thus, one of the biggest speedrunning communities has emerged from this game, and they have kept this game stable and alive for almost 18 years now. Couple that with the mods and all the YouTube channels making content on it, I think the Portal series is one of those game series that will never die, because the community is single-handedly keeping the game alive by constantly introducing new players to the game and making them fall in love with it. It truly is timeless, and I cannot wait to talk to you more about it in this video. So, with all that being said, let's get started.
Well, you found me. Congratulations.
This isn't brave. It's murder. What did I ever do to you?
You're not a good person. You know that, right? Good people don't end up here. I'm going to kill you. And all the cake is gone.
Was it worth it?
The game opens with you in a glass cube with less than the bare necessities to live. You've got a bed, a toilet, and a tiny desk with a clipboard and a radio on it. A robotic voice starts speaking to us, almost like an intercom system.
Hello, and again, welcome to the Aperture Science Computer-Aided Enrichment Center.
The voice welcomes our character back, implying that we signed up for this. After quote-unquote processing our specimen, which I assume just means doing something in that bed that we were just in, and we're now ready to begin some kind of test whose goals seem kind of fine.
Keep in mind that although fun and learning are the primary goals of all Enrichment Center activities, serious injuries may occur.
This is when we get our first sign that this place isn't exactly as it seems, as both the voice and the lights glitch out.
Turn back.
A portal opens in the wall, and it allows you to leave the relaxation chamber, just the glass cube that you were in. But before we get out of there, I want to talk about the radio for a second. The music it plays has become very popular in gaming culture. So popular, in fact, that somebody made a 10-hour loop of the same song over and over again and posted it on YouTube. That video has 7 million views right now, and it's very normal, and nothing weird happens at 5 hours and 19 minutes. It's just a very normal video the whole time. After going through the portal, we're able to see ourselves through the portal, which is kind of cool and a little trippy. Walking around, we find some cameras and some obscured observation chambers, but they're empty. There's no one in there. The first door we go through leads us to the first test chamber, which introduces some of the basic mechanics of the game. Step on the button, the door opens. You put the cube on the button, the door stays open, and you can go through. But the voice that was talking to us in the beginning, whom I'll now call GLaDOS, starts telling us about this emancipation grill. Basically a little mesh where if anything unauthorized goes through it, it explodes, including the cube. Such a specific mention really made me want to go and get the cube through the door, but I couldn't. I tried throwing the cube through the door. I tried blocking the door with the cube itself. I tried putting the radio in the way. None of it worked. Eventually I just gave up and took the radio through, and it just kind of exploded. At the end of each test chamber, you will find that same emancipation grill and an elevator that'll take you to the next one. The second chamber maintains the same cube mechanic from the first one, except now there's also portals, which allows us to interact with them a little bit more. The orange portal is stationary while the blue one moves around to allow you access to all the different rooms in the chamber. That said, after completing the stage, GLaDOS says something very interesting.
Please move quickly to the chamber lock, as the effects of prolonged exposure to the button are not part of this test.
That kinda made me wonder, what effects? What are these people willing to do to us? What are we testing for exactly? This doesn't seem very complicated.
You're doing very well.
The former question is answered almost immediately as we enter Chamber 3, where after telling you how good you're doing, GLaDOS warns you that a taste of blood as a result of the Emancipation Grill frying your teeth or enamel or dental fillings, just anything in your mouth, I guess, is possible. God, imagine going through it with braces on and it rips all your teeth out. Ugh. After listening to GLaDOS, I found a panel that showed some of the dangers associated with this specific chamber. There's common stuff like, hey, you could get hit by a box or something, but then there's also a sign about you drowning or a turret firing lasers at you. And then there's cake. There's just a thing of cake, which is interesting. I played Portal 2. I am aware of the cake, but why is there a sign for it here? All of the warning signs are dim, meaning none of the dangers displayed on the panel are actually here. But the more chambers you go through, the more dangers you're exposed to. Much like Chamber 2, the portals move on their own here, and you just have to go through them, except this time there is a portal gun. The portal gun shooting them, and going up to it allows you to grab it and shoot your own portals wherever you want. The first thing I did was move the two portals closer together and start like running between them. It's so cool being actually able to see yourself. It's moments like these that inspire the overthinking that leads to videos like this one by Minute Physics, which, mind you, it was uploaded 2 years ago, 15 years after Portal came out, and it still has 11 million views. This game is popular for these moments, these tiny, stupid moments, because for just a second you let go of the game and you let go of the story and the progression and all that stuff and just answer your curiosity. This is part of what makes Portal so captivating as a game series. More than the world that it spawned, it's always trying to get you to think and be curious and explore and do crazy shit. And while this isn't crazy, and neither is this, I'm willing to bet that this is what inspired this acid trip of a video by Crobecat. Okay, I could talk about this for hours. Let's just move on.
Please proceed to the chamber lock. Mind the gap.
Chamber 4 doesn't offer anything in the way of being interesting, except for this almost hellish looking texture that we see beneath the floorboards and beneath the stairs. It's weird. It's almost like the whole facility is kind of just a facade for something strange. Like, look at that. It's almost like a peek into hell. It's so weird. All the cameras and the empty observation chambers don't make this any better either. I still find it weird that this chamber is so empty. It's almost as if this stage was designed to show you this aspect of the facility. The fact that the gap and what it shows is the only thing in this chamber, that there's really nothing else, shows that what you're looking at is merely a facade, that there's something different and probably evil going on that you can't see. Chamber 5 actually consists of two different chambers. The first one just introduces a very simple concept of using gravity to move the cube along, rather than having it dropped for you like in the first chamber. The second part of Chamber 5 is a small puzzle containing all the things we've interacted with so far. The cubes, the buttons, and some portals. But with a lot of creative thinking, you can soft lock the entire chamber. Okay, so here's how it works. There are two buttons that need to be pressed down with two of the Aperture Science cubes. Once pressed, the door opens and you can go through. If you look closely, there's a portable surface, meaning you can place a portal on the other side of the door. How does that help us? Well, it kind of doesn't, because we don't control the orange portal. But what we can do is sneak one of the cubes through the orange portal on the other side of the door. This makes it impossible to both open the door and go through it. The developers expected you to figure this out if you were curious enough, and so they added a little Easter egg if you manage to soft lock yourself.
You're not a good person. You know that, right?
GLaDOS gets angry, just calls you an asshole, and opens the door. And thanks to this Easter egg, I could finally get a cube through the Emancipation Grill.
To ensure the safe performance of all authorized activities, do not destroy vital testing apparatus. The Aperture Science high-energy pellet seen to the left of the chamber can and has caused permanent disabilities such as vaporization.
Much like the last two chambers, chambers 6, 7, and 8 introduce a new mechanic, that being the energy ball. I wanted to verify what GLaDOS said, so I tested it out, and yep, she was right. You can see what remains of me on the floor.
Unbelievable. You
Subject name here.
must be the pride of.
Subject hometown here.
Hilariously dehumanizing statement, but it also shows the sheer scale that they were operating on. They had so many people that they had to encourage for some reason that they just defaulted to pre-formulated, really basic messages. Chamber 7 just introduces the floating plate, which prepares us for all of these things to be combined in Chamber 8.
Any contact with the chamber floor will result in an unsatisfactory mark on your official testing record, followed by death. Good luck.
Which was the first real jump in complexity that I have seen so far, so it took me some time to adjust. I offed myself on accident like 3 times. Until I realized I just don't need to be on this plate. Like, I can solve everything from my starting position.
Please note that any appearance of danger is merely a device to enhance your testing experience.
No, that's septic waste. That's water. That's not enhancing my experience. Why do you want to kill me? What did I do? Chamber 9 is fucking weird, because you get in there and GLaDOS goes, this test is impossible, you're not gonna do it. Sorry, it's broken. It's so obviously broken. But the solution is really obvious. So like, what the fuck was that? What they're trying to do here is get you to think creatively. There's a clear emancipation grill between this side and that side. There's no way you're gonna get a portal through that, but if you just climb up and look, there's a very deliberately placed window that you can shoot your portal through and not have to mess with the emancipation grill at all. But I think the way that GLaDOS frames it of being like, this is impossible and broken, is just super funny.
Once again, the Enrichment Center offers its most sincere apologies on the occasion of this unsolvable test environment.
Chamber 10 introduces us to the concept of momentum.
Hello again. To reiterate previous warning. Momentum.
Okay, you can use gravity to generate downward momentum, but then by using a portal, you're able to transfer it from downward momentum to forward momentum and be able to cross large gaps. Or as GLaDOS says, speedy thing goes in, speedy thing comes out. At the start of the next chamber, and the end of our education chapter, GLaDOS reiterates Aperture's commitment to safety during testing.
The Enrichment Center promises to always provide a safe testing environment. In dangerous testing environments, the Enrichment Center promises to always provide useful advice.
It's in this chamber that we're able to pick up the second half of the portal gun and complete it. As the orange portal moves around the room, we need to guide the energy ball into its little socket to activate the floating plate, which takes us to the orange portal gun and allows us to combine the two into a fully independent portal gun. And now our education is complete and we have all the equipment we will need. Now the game can really begin. So far, we've just been learning what's at our disposal and what tools do we have, but we weren't really being challenged all that much, and I think the game gets a lot more interesting from here on out. while I have you, please subscribe. This channel is so new, and any kind of support would be huge for me right now. Thank you. Now, if you'll recall, I played Portal 2 before I played this game. Imagine going from the highs and amazingness of Portal 2 down to this, relearning everything that I already knew. This was fucking depressing. This felt like the night before another school week. Ugh. And I could barely bring myself to continue playing. Chamber 12 is maybe the funniest chamber in the entire game.
Get Lucy there, fling yourself. Fling into space.
You should
Fling yourself.
now!
But even in general, GLaDOS does not offer the same kind of guidance that she used to offer in the previous chambers. And again, that's because there's nothing to learn. We've learned everything, now we just have to put it all into practice. In this chamber, you have to combine elements from all the other ones so far. This includes using stuff like the momentum mechanic to navigate the different floors, looking in directions that you didn't really think to look at, and fucking around. Yeah! Woohoo! This is so fun! Yeah! Oh. Do you think I could smack into this plate? Hold on. Didn't do anything. Dude, check out this trick shot. Yeah, yeah. Oh, we can do it again. Yeah, okay. Third time's the charm. We got this. Let's go. Yeah,
We...
Yes, GLaDOS. Wee! Chamber 13 was maybe the most fun chamber I've ever been in. It opens with GLaDOS telling you some menacing shit.
If you become lightheaded from thirst, feel free to pass out. An intubation associate will be dispatched to revive you with peptic salve and adrenaline.
Septic salve. This chamber reminds me a lot of the one we broke, and the way to solve it is boring. Like I know all these mechanics, I don't want to solve it like that. Here's what I did. GLaDOS said something about, hey, don't destroy any important testing apparatus. I'm like, there's some shit we could destroy here. I couldn't find it. Hey, post-editing mannequin tears here. I'm an idiot. It was just the camera. In my testing, I was able to get the energy ball through the emancipation grill. The first thing to actually go through it, which was so fucking cool. What's more, I didn't want to use the energy ball to activate this platform and pick up this cube. That was lame. So I tried to use momentum to get it and spent like a good 15 minutes trying and failing and getting clipped by the energy ball. Fuck! Until I realized I can just have my momentum take me up instead of forward. The solution I ended up with was the energy ball in the fucking elevator and both cubes right outside the emancipation grill. GLaDOS was so fucking pissed.
Despite the best efforts of the Enrichment Center staff to ensure the safe performance of all authorized activities, you have managed to ensnare yourself permanently inside this room. A complimentary escape hatch will open in 3, 2, 1.
I have successfully solved this chamber in the most incorrect way imaginable. Chamber 14 is one of the most unremarkable chambers in the game. That said, I do love how after the complicated nonsense GLaDOS spits out, she just says, and you know what? You're great. You are awesome.
All subjects intending to handle high-energy gamma-leaking portal technology must be informed that they may be informed of applicable regulatory compliance issues. No further compliance information is required or will be provided, and you are an excellent test subject.
The chamber consists of you using a cube to open a door, embarrassing yourself for 6 minutes with the energy ball, or maybe that's just me, and then finally you get it into its slot and then a lift activates and you can leave. But I thought to myself, you know what, that's kind of lame. I could do something cooler. Because I saw that there was a portable surface positioned both above and far away from the lift, I figured I could use momentum to just jump onto the lift without having to engage with any of the chamber. Unfortunately, Apparently that didn't work because I couldn't generate enough momentum, so I came up with a new plan. I stacked 2 portals on top of each other, one on the ceiling, one on the floor, and I decided to use that infinite momentum you get from gravity to go fast enough and get on the platform, but that didn't work either. Not only was I not fast enough, I could hardly place the portal in the right place. That's when I noticed, I'm an idiot. There's a wall right in front of the platform. It's like you were meant to do this. But again, I wasn't fast enough to cross that gap. It's almost as if it was intentional to tease you about the idea of doing it, but not ever being able to do it. Until I realized something. I could just go up instead of forward. Just like the previous chamber. I learned nothing. It was so easy, but I overcomplicated it for no reason. Exiting the stage, I was left with a feeling of both a little pride and a lot of stupidity.
Enrichment Center is committed to the well-being of all participants. Cake and grief counseling will be available at the conclusion of the test.
There's still no cake in Chamber 15, but it's still one of the best chambers I've played through so far because it feels like a whole journey, right? It's not just do the thing in the room and then go through the door. It's do this simplified version of a puzzle, and then you move on to an even more complicated version of that exact same puzzle, and then after you're done with that, the game tacks on another room with a new mechanic. Only then are you done. The first part is a very simple momentum puzzle followed by an energy ball and emancipation grid puzzle. I never thought about the two things interacting before, so it took some time to adjust my brain to it, but in retrospect it was really simple. The next stage is just a slightly more complicated momentum puzzle, and then again a more complicated energy ball puzzle. Except this one I couldn't solve. I don't know if I was like in a weird mood at the time or something, I just couldn't solve it even though the game was like showing me the solution right there. Now, if you did this correctly, a series of platforms would show up inside this hallway, and you were supposed to portal on the wall from platform to platform until you made it. I, however, suck, and in the process of trying to get you footage to see what this actually looks like, died way more times than I care to admit. This whole chamber has just been a series of embarrassments for me. So how did I actually do this if I didn't engage with the mechanics in the chamber? Well, I kind of did it the legitimate way, just without the platforms. The last room, like I said, introduces a new mechanic, that being the timed gates. You click a button and then for a brief period of time, a gate is open. You can use this to open both gates and allow the energy ball through. By setting up the portal beforehand and then pressing the buttons, you buy yourself just enough time to get the energy ball through. I love this because it's been a while since I've seen a new mechanic, so that was pretty fun because all we've been working with so far were very rudimentary things. In the beginning of Chamber 16, GLaDOS says something like, hey, the test is broken, so we replaced it for you with a live fire exercise for military robots, where robots that can shoot actual bullets and kill you are just playing around. As threatening as it may have sounded, the robots are actually really simple and easy to fight. Put me down! Put me down! Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? I'm the man who's gonna... You just knock them off balance some way, or just pick them up and fucking throw them on the ground. Hey! Hey! What do you think you're doing? Huh? What do you think you're doing? Put me down! I'm gonna kill you! I'm gonna kill you! I'm gonna turn you into mush! I'm gonna murder you now! This chamber has a little secret. More than the simple mechanics they introduced in this chamber has a secret area. Behind one of the tiles, you can see a little wall kind of blocked by some of the cubes. Removing them allows you to walk in, and it's a disturbing sight. There's empty cans of food, there's empty jugs of water and computers, and it's clear somebody has been living here. What's more, there's scribbles on the wall, tally marks. The cake is a lie written over and over again. That's a popular line in all of gaming culture, probably because of this, because of what we're looking at right now. Aside from what's on the wall and the writings and the weird like food items, there's nothing tangible here. Everything's purely just of the environment. So with no clear purpose to this room, I thought it would be really funny to just trap all the robots in here. You can either portal them in or just drag them inside, and it's so funny seeing them stacked up. Hey buddy, what you're doing, it's not smart. You better put me down. You better put me down now. One after another. I didn't leave any of them. Where are you taking me, huh? Where do you think you're taking? Oh my god. I dodged bullets and almost died over and over again, all with the express purpose of trapping them in this weird, evil room. He's a monster! A big giant pile of corpses and one lonely turret to watch them. Guys! Anyone? Hello? Please! No! Of all the turrets in this chamber, there was one left. I could have sent him into the room, but instead I found a really interesting opportunity. There's an emancipation grid right next to him. Hold on. There's a McDonald's in the Pentagon. No. I hate that song. At the end of the chamber, GLaDOS tells you about Android Hell and how you will be sent there if you misbehave.
Android Hell is a real place where you will be sent at the first sign of defiance. The vital apparatus vent will deliver a weighted companion cube in 3, 2, 1.
Chamber 17 is a particularly gut-wrenching one. GLaDOS drops you something. It's called the Companion Cube. It's just like all the other cubes, except this one has a little heart on it. You're told to take care of it, and without it, this chamber would be completely impossible. The first thing you have to do is use it as a stair, and after climbing up, take it with you to deflect the energy balls to stop them from killing you. After that, you need to use it to deflect an energy ball into its socket, after which we find something really interesting. What's funny is that the man who was living here was after my own heart. He was stacking dead cameras instead of turrets. But on the wall are more scribbles, this time all tailored towards the cube. There's pictures on the wall of this person in a suit, but their face is actually covered with the cube. There's pictures of families, all of whom are cubes. There's a sexy calendar where the girl is a cube. Whoever was here also wrote a little tiny poem about the cube. Not in cruelty, not in wrath, the Reaper came today. An angel visited this gray path and took the cube away. I think this chamber is so chaotic, not on the surface, but when you start to look deeper at the dialogue and at all the environmental stuff. What the hell is going on becomes the most prominent question. This is more than just the cube. GLaDOS insists throughout the entire chamber that the companion cube cannot speak. But it's this insistence that an inanimate object cannot speak is what's driving me nuts here. Consider also all the humanization in this back room here. Is GLaDOS lying? I mean, with all the stuff we went through, I guess it's not a far-fetched, but still. Why not just drop a regular cube? Why not drop a cube that, I don't know, doesn't come with an existential crisis on the side? Check out the 700 IQ move right here. The third thing that you have to do with the cube is use it to keep this door open so that you can get an energy ball into its socket, which is also where I got this cool shot for the intro. After you plug up all 3 energy ball sockets, 3 platforms rise into the air, and you have to jump on them and take your companion cube with you through a little jumping puzzle thing, which takes you to the end of the stage, where you need to use the companion cube to get a door open and press a button to burn it. To burn it, you have to burn your companion cube, this thing that's helped you, this thing that without it you would not be able to complete the stage. You have to burn it. What's horrifying to me is that the place you burn it in is specifically referred to as an intelligence incinerator.
Please escort your companion cube to the Aperture Science Emergency Intelligence Incinerator.
Again, is this thing alive? Is it a robot? Is there a person inside? Because people love to throw out that theory, but I've never really paid attention to it until now, where I had to analyze this. After you burn and destroy your companion cube, GLaDOS says this.
You euthanized your faithful companion cube more quickly than any test subject on record. Congratulations.
There is no way that's true. She's just trying to hurt me. I don't believe that. There's no way I was the fastest person to kill their cube. Absolutely no way. Fuck! No way. I love this chamber. It kind of shows the range that Portal is capable of. When I first played this, I didn't really pay much attention to it, but when you really focus and pay attention and try to understand everything, it becomes a tiny existential crisis. It's amazing.
The experiment is nearing its conclusion.
We finally get an update on the cake situation in Chamber 18. Given that we're also nearing the end of testing, GLaDOS promised to give us weed and cake.
The Enrichment Center is required to remind you that you will be baked, and then there will be cake.
I'm excited to say that this chamber was my favorite, and still it was depressing, because even at Portal 1's best, it just doesn't compare to Portal 2, and it's not even its fault. I played the game backwards, and I was here trying to recapture the joy. It's just not the same, and it's so painful. That aside, we begin this chamber by finding another one of those rooms, but this time there's a camera pointed right at the wall. I don't think this is a coincidence. I think this room was planted here for some reason by GLaDOS. But unfortunately, nothing really comes of that, so after navigating above these platforms, we get to maybe the coolest room in the game. A platform rotates around the map and shoots energy balls. Your job is to both deposit the energy ball into its socket, as always, but also knock out all the turrets. I'll get you for this! You can do this by aiming a portal at the impact site of the energy ball, and then another one at the turret's laser. You haven't seen the last of me! It's so satisfying seeing them fall off the map. You bitch! After you're done with the turrets, you need to get the energy ball into its socket, but it's blocked by that temporary door mechanic we saw earlier, so here's what you have to do. Place the portals for where you want the ball to go, and then as soon as it's through, you have to shoot 2 more portals, jump through them, activate the button to open the temporary door, and then barely make it in time for the ball to enter the socket. All of this just to activate another mechanic we've seen, the moving platform. By standing on it, you get to make it to the other side, where you can press a button, get one of the wall tiles to tilt a little, place a portal on it, and then jump down so that you can fly across the room and grab a cube. And then once you're back on the other side, you're done with this room. That was so cool, and this is maybe the only spot in the game or in the series where you can actually move a wall and have your portal disappear because the wall moved. I might be very wrong though, I'll let you know. My only gripe here was really the moving platform because it kills the flow, because suddenly you lose all control and you have to wait for this platform to get to you, which just kills the vibe so quickly. If you're paying attention, you'll know I really like soft locking the game. So I found another way to do it in this chamber. By placing one portal right outside the door and another one in that next room, you can leave that second room, take the cube with you, and then send it into the second room. And after you create 2 new portals, that's it. The chamber is soft lock, and this is the one time they didn't account for it. The chamber is just broken and you have to die. There's no other way to continue, which is so fucking cool to find something that they didn't even expect. Let's get back to the game, huh? That second room is also super fun. So you have to generate momentum using gravity to fly up and then place another portal that then allows you to place yet another portal, and then you put 2 portals next to each other and you fuck everything up and you gotta restart. But when you do it right, it's so fun because you get to carry all this momentum from platform to platform and fly all the way up, finally ending in a slanted platform that sends you to the end. So fucking fun.
Be advised that the next test requires exposure to uninsulated electrical parts that may be dangerous under certain conditions. For more information, please attend an Enrichment Center Electrical Safety Seminar.
This was honestly one of the most memorable chambers, aside from the companion cube one.
Welcome to the final test.
Chamber 18 begins with the same puzzle that eluded me in Chamber 15. The way this chamber is supposed to go is that you would solve that exact puzzle, and then sit on the platform as it moves and just navigate through the portals until you get to the end, at which point GLaDOS tries to burn you, without even giving you cake. Like this whole time, we've been waiting for a cake, and it's not there. There's not even any weed. Oh, that's what she meant by baked. And this isn't a joke, you're supposed to die here. But if you were paying attention, there's an extremely easy escape route. That's not how I did it. If you'll remember, for some reason this puzzle keeps eluding me. So I did exactly what I did in Chamber 15, navigating from portal to portal until I came across the fiery room, at which point I died and spent like 30 minutes trying to make it back rather than just play the game normally. No matter how you escape, however, that's it. The testing is over. You're out of Aperture's control.
What are you doing? Stop it. We are pleased that you made it through the final challenge where we pretended we were going to murder you. We are throwing a party in honor of your tremendous success. Place the device on the ground, then lie on your stomach with your arms at your sides. A party associate will arrive shortly to collect you for your party. Assume the party escort submission position or you will miss the party.
Right now, you're walking through the heart of Aperture, which as you can see is like really gross. It's all rusty metal plates, giant fans, assembly lines of turrets.
It's time to kill a bitch. He won't see me coming this time.
Pipes moving cubes and stuff throughout the facility, and a big thing is that you were never planned to be here. As such, GLaDOS' voice is very weak and very distant.
Hello? Where are you? I know you're there. I can feel you here.
She keeps trying to put on this act of, hey, I know you're here, I know everything, I'm still all-powerful.
What are you doing? You haven't escaped, you know. You're not even going the right way.
In reality, she has no control anymore, and that means we can freely roam wherever we want to. But it also means that there's no longer any guidance. There's no clear, set path for where you're supposed to go or where you're supposed to do. All you can do now is rely on the things you've learned to get around. The first place of interest we find is an observation chamber overlooking Chamber 9, and right next to it is another observation chamber overlooking Chamber 14, where I embarrassed myself. But next to it was a whole workspace with computers and TVs and even a meeting room, inside of which we find a projection for GSA schedules, whatever that is, where Aperture compares themselves to their rival, Black Mesa. They're in the same universe, and Black Mesa is a part of the Half-Life series, which we could get into later. We jump down into one of those cube transportation tubes and then end up in Chamber 9 again. GLaDOS can talk to us normally.
You win. Go back to the recovery annex for your cake.
This whole cake charade is the funniest thing in the world. But I'm kind of disappointed there's no way to actually listen to her, because I genuinely believe someone would have fell for it, right? Someone would have been curious enough to figure out what happens when you do listen to GLaDOS. Yes, of course she's gonna kill you, there's no cake, but maybe there is a cake.
Somebody cut the cake. I told them to wait for you, but they cut it anyway. There is still some left.
We go down beneath Chamber 9, and what we find is so fucking cool. We find the very pistons that hold up the platforms that make up the test chambers. We are in that hellish texture I was so worried about back in Chamber 3, and it seems we weren't the first ones here. That one person who's made all the secret rooms we found, mostly, he's been in here too, and from now on I'm gonna call him Ratman. That's just what the community knows him as. And then I find the easiest jump in the world and embarrass myself over and over, not being able to make it. Just jump. I'm watching this gameplay back and I'm like, dude, just jump. I really feel the need to emphasize how lost we are. There's hardly any clear direction on where to go. The entire place is trying to kill you all the time. There's deadly pistons that can crush you, but at the same time, there's so much more world building here. Ratman clearly has been living here for a long, long time, and he's helping you out. He's leaving signs for you all over the place. He's got his own hidden areas that you need to do weird, wacky shit to get to.
Didn't we have some fun, though? Remember when the platform was sliding into the fire pit and I said goodbye, and you were like,
No way.
And then we pretended we were going to murder you.
that was great.
All the puzzles in this section of the game are not only deadly, they're kind of chaotic. Before, there was a very clear way to get things done, and if you were familiar with the game, you could quickly tell what you have to do. But here, it's complete instinct. That's all you have to go off of. How do I stop getting crushed by this piston? I don't know. Hope you get lucky and land on it when it's not about to crush you. Otherwise, go back down and try again. How do I make it up there so I can reach the piston? Oh, just jump into the toxic water and like swim a little and you'll go through the portal. Stuff like that. Stuff that you would have never thought of in the testing areas. It's kind of a mindfuck at first, but it's so fucking cool because for once you are in complete control. How you go about this is entirely up to you. By this point, GLaDOS has had enough. She doesn't need to lure you anywhere anymore, she just wants to kill you, and that's what she tries to do. While walking on some pistons, they all split and you fall down into a room with 4 hidden compartments, one on each side, each of which has a turret inside it. You're trapped between 4 of them, but it's got portable walls, so it's trivial. You just go behind them, knock them over. It's kinda lame.
I see you! I see you!
After taking on all of them, you follow more of Ratman's signs until you reach a pretty well-lit office. It's honestly beautiful compared to the rest of the workspaces found throughout the game. This is also where we discover a brand new type of turret. I cannot describe how cool this thing is. It shoots rockets, it tracks you with a laser, and then once it finds you, it locks on and fires a rocket. You can use this rocket turret to break glass windows as well as the glass pipes that have the cubes going through them so that you can access spots you otherwise couldn't. The first time I broke the glass tube, it landed into the room with the turret. After I figured out what had happened, I tried to grab it. Instead of just going back out the way I came, I tried to go through the door while holding the cube, and the cube fucked me and I died. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the? No! After I finally walked through that little vent, I realized something. What I have in my hands is a rocket launcher. Wherever I place that orange portal, the rocket turret will aim. I can fire rockets now. I am way stronger than I was ever intended to be. I'm gonna use this to break the entire game. I'm not gonna put... Oh, I got a loading screen and they took the turret away. The next room we walk into is huge. It's a similar idea to the last turret room that we were in, only it's taller, it's wider, and it's got so many turrets. You cannot stand in one place for too long, you will die. But the coolest part about this room is that this is where you were meant to fight GLaDOS. In a 2006 beta build of the game that people got access to, you can actually still do the original GLaDOS boss fight, which is so much cooler than the base game. GLaDOS looked like a billion balls. And all while you were fighting her, you were being swarmed with turrets. And the more you damage GLaDOS, the more she tries to escape and hide and destroy the facility and do everything in her power to stop you. All while tweaking her fucking mind off.
Sweet potato tea, take me to a picnic, cake, drink time, chocolate, cake roll, tropical snack cake, vanilla fudge cake, sour cream, pumpkin bundt cake.
Ending in her hiding in a little cubby where you would deliver the final blow.
Vanilla, crazy cake, vanilla crazy, fake vanilla, crazy cake. Nutcracker, sweet ginger, walnut, thermal reactor low, old-fashioned fiber optic.
Which is just so fucking cool. It's so much cooler than the base game. The base game is horrible compared to this. This is so incredible. I don't understand why they wouldn't add this to the main game. Like, yes, it's faster paced than the rest of the game, but I think that would have been better. In the final product, this room is just a death trap, which is cool, but not as cool as fighting GLaDOS here. Oh man. But once I saw all those lasers, my mind wandered back. Chamber 16. The giant pile of turret corpses. This time it wouldn't be like evil or something. It just gave me a reason to engage with the level, because otherwise this is extremely easy to get through. Plus it was super satisfying. I went all the way to the top and then looking down, just shot portals into the rooms and each portal dropped a fresh turret. After I was finished, one final momentum puzzle took me to the end.
Haha, it's time to kill you, bitch. You didn't see me coming. Stop!
As you walk through the corridor, you see it, a big, giant complex, extending far above what you can see. This is it. This is where GLaDOS is.
Well, you found me. Congratulations. Was it worth it? Because despite your violent behavior, the only thing you've managed to break so far is my heart.
Now, the GLaDOS boss fight isn't all that, admittedly.
Never mind, it's a mystery I'll solve later. By myself. Because you'll be dead. Where are you taking that thing?
I think it was one of the few moments where the game really showed its age. This is a really old game. They probably didn't have that much to work with, and still, it was pretty good. More funny than anything else, really.
That thing is probably some kind of raw sewage container. Go ahead and rub your face all over it.
I was still upset about losing my rocket launcher from earlier, but lucky for me, GLaDOS pulls another rocket turret up. Obviously in an attempt to kill you, but really it's just your own rocket launcher, and it's so fun.
Aren't mutually exclusive.
Every time you hit GLaDOS with a rocket, a core drops from her. These cores are like attachments that they add to her to suppress certain behaviors they don't like or things they don't want her doing.
If your memories are what define who you are, what happens when they fade? If you uploaded your mind to a digital realm to live forever, how can you guarantee that you will still be you? Why live if death is inevitable? If you could erase any memory, would you erase the painful ones, knowing that they defined who you are now? When you witness someone you love suffering from dementia, where do you think their true self goes? Does any of it stay? If you lost the ability to feel one emotion, which emotion would you choose to sacrifice? You're breathing manually and you feel your own tongue.
For some reason, I just couldn't figure this puzzle out. It's literally momentum. We've been doing it all game. Speedy thing goes in, speedy thing comes out. Why? I don't understand why it took me so long, but it did. A dash of dry disappointment from a test subject's diary. A post-it note stuck onto a coworker's back that says penis. 2 dashes of needing to pee during a meeting. Concentrated feedback from a test group of rats. The pleats of a turret mistakenly put in a disassembly line. 18 teaspoons of companion cube-induced trauma. The sound of a broken intercom. Season to taste with dust from a turret that was never deployed. Refurbished hopes and dreams. A squirt of Steam update that doesn't change anything. The aftertaste of a diet soda. Add 1 cup of chopped trust from a companion cube. You fucking asshole. I absolutely love just the hateful, mean GLaDOS. It's not hot, but it's really, really fucking funny.
I have your brain scanned and permanently backed up in case something terrible happens to you, which it's just about to.
Don't believe me? Here, I'll put you on. That's you. That's how dumb you sound.
With each core of GLaDOS that you destroy, she gets more and more tweaky.
You think you're doing some damage?
2 + 2 is...
In base 4, I'm fine.
Upon destroying the final core, GLaDOS is defeated, and the entire facility explodes, sending you and her remains up to the surface. What I find interesting is that in the PC version, the party associate does eventually come to collect you for your party. You just had to assume the proper position, which, after being thrown onto the surface, I guess you are. What follows is the camera slowly descending down into the bowels of Aperture, and in a room full of cores, you find it. It's the cake. It's what you've been waiting for. It's all right there. It wasn't a lie. You just had to go to the party. Okay, but for real, I'm guessing this is sort of thematic, right? Maybe the cake isn't actually there, maybe it is, but I think it would have been really cool to allow the player to take the story in whichever direction they wanted. If they followed what GLaDOS told them, there would actually be a party, but you would never escape and you would never face her. The game ends early. I don't think this was on their minds when they were making this game, though. I think this really was just a demo. There's a lot of Easter eggs here. There's a lot of like really hidden details and lore, and I like that. that, but I believe it's coming at the cost of not accessible lore, but like lore that you don't have to do something stupid like look at a screen for a while to find. I'm referencing something real here because the recipe for the cake is present in these monitors. I was never gonna look at that, like ever. So I feel like it's such a waste adding lore there and not in other places. This isn't to say that it's a bad thing to add hidden lore or lore that's really difficult to find. It's more to say that this type of lore shouldn't come at the cost of more accessible lore. I feel like we could have learned a lot about Aperture and Black Mesa and their rivalry here, but instead there really wasn't much, which is disappointing. The story is interesting and the world they built is intriguing. I want to learn more, but unfortunately there just isn't much, at least none that I have found. And I like exploring. I like leaving no inch untouched, but there either isn't much here, or it's a New Game Plus, or it's in a form that I don't feel like I should have to engage with. Like staring at text, scrolling across a TV. I'm saying all of this with love, by the way. Portal 1 is an incredible game. Portal 2 is even better. I cannot wait to talk about both of them. But if I had to find issues with Portal 1, these would be them. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. If you were just here for Portal, the video is more or less over. Like and subscribe, or skip to the ending. I'm gonna be speaking from the heart now. So if you're hearing this and you think, hey, you sound different, it's because I do. I'm recording this probably a couple hours before the video comes out. For context, most of this video was recorded and prepared last June, so June of 2025. I'm just here to talk a little bit about the channel as well as some future projects. So if you were one of the few people who watched the Resident Evil 7 video, which was the last one released on this channel, you will know that the video that was supposed to come out now was supposed to be the Resident Evil 8 video, and I'm like 14 months too late, so what happened? At the time, I made the decision to stack up the videos so that I would have Portal 1 RE8 and Portal 2 release all back to back. The problem is that it stopped me from feeling any kind of pressure to release the videos in a timely manner, and so that really hurt the channel and its growth, and it's something that I do regret doing. So what's the plan now? A month from now, roughly, you're gonna see the Resident Evil 8 video, which, holy shit, stick around for that. That video is the whole reason I made the channel, so please watch it. A month after that, we're gonna have Portal 2, and then a month after that, Resident Evil Requiem will release, which means I'll have to make a video on that. So if you're into either games, stick around. Subscribe so you can catch all those videos when they come out. Other than that, I have been your host, Mannequin Tears, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.
You found me. Congratulations. Was it worth it? What are you doing?
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Aperture science. We do what we must because we can. For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. But there's no sense crying over every mistake. You just keep on trying till you run out of cake. And the science gets done and you make a neat gun for the people who are still alive. I'm not even angry. I'm being so sincere right now. Even though you broke my heart and killed me, and tore me to pieces, and threw every piece into a fire. As they burned, it hurt because I was so happy for you. Now these points of data make a beautiful line, and we're out of data, we're releasing on time. So I'm glad I got burned. Think of all the things we learned for the people who are still alive. Go ahead and leave me. I think I prefer to stay inside. Maybe you'll find some